Hey everybody, welcome back to the AmeriKan Dreem channel. So today we're going to go around. I'm going to show you a few locations. They're actually they're movie scene locations, and they're from the 1990 movie Problem Child. Now the reason I'm doing it, there's quite a few of them. One, this movie came out in 1990, like I said, and I was 2 years old at the time, but I got very good memories of my childhood, and could have been around the age of 4. I very distinctly remember seeing Problem Child multiple times. And when I saw it, there's a lot of scenes that I think about these days that just are engraved in my head. And there's quite a few of them from this movie. So I think that's, like I said, I've said it in the past, that's the point of the AmeriKan Dreem channel. You know, make your dreams come true. Do whatever you want. If you want to go see movie locations where they filming locations, go see it. If you want to go see the Statue of Liberty, go see it. If you want to go to Europe, go to Europe. Whatever it is, do it. And like I said, I just want you guys to follow me around on this channel as we do what we want to in life. We go and see the places we want to see. We go to them. We meet the people we want to meet. We create the content we want to create. But I think as far as Problem Child goes, just a quick couple fun facts. You know, when the movie was released in 1990, it's the same year as Home Alone. You know, Macaulay Culkin actually auditioned for the part of Junior, Problem Child. And ended up going to Michael Oliver. And the bow tie killer, there was... You know, we know who that was. It was Kramer from Seinfeld, Michael Richards. Actually, Christopher Lloyd auditioned for that. We know Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown, the Back to the Future franchise. He actually auditioned for it. So, just a couple little fun facts most people don't know. But anyway, we're going to go around today and I'm going to show you some of these film locations. But like I said, I'm a big nostalgia junkie. You know, I love nostalgia. To me, it just takes you back to a time and place. Whether it's a song, whether it's a movie, whether it's seeing a place you haven't seen for a while, you know, when you see or hear those things, for me at least, and I'm sure it's like most people out there, it's the same thing, I get that feeling in my heart, in my stomach, and it just feels warm, it feels inviting, and it just takes you back. And I love that. And I love that. Absolutely love it. But anyway, we're going to start off today. We're going to go around. There's quite a few different cities we're going to go to get these filming locations. But anyway, AmeriKan Dreem channel, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and let's rock and roll. Let's do this thing. All right, everybody. So as the movie starts, we hear Michael Oliver's character, Junior, pretty much narrating the beginning of the movie. Now, what he does, he's basically talking about, this is the day I was born. And if you've seen the movie, house on a stormy night, and with him as an infant, newborn baby, and they have dropping him off at the front door, and that's obviously where the movie kicks off at. So I'm going to take you right now to where they dropped him off at, and that's where we're going to go right now. Looks a lot different in a sense, but it pretty much looks identical. So when they come, actually the movie scene pretty much picks up from, it would be from this angle, and then from that angle, it would look like that they're facing directly toward the house, kind of like they're coming in through a gate. And a good shot, I'm going to try to get it because this is the house right there. A good shot, at least from what it would look like in the beginning of the movie, would probably be from this angle. That angle, I kind of back up, go a little more to the left, and that would be a good angle. And that's pretty much where our movie begins, right there. If you look it up online and try to look up, they call it the mansion at the beginning of the movie, and that's pretty much what it is. My house is nowhere near that size. You could probably cut that into 4 and that'd be the size of my house, but that's where it started out, man. That's where Junior's adventure started and the rest of ours with him. So right now, this is pretty much where the orphanage was, and a lot has changed because if you go back and watch the scene as they're pulling off from the orphanage, you see a dirt road that leads away from the main gate where they were.
Hey, we must have gotten the pick of the litter. Look, everyone's come out to see him off.
It's not there no more. And you kind of see that if you look right up there, hold on, let me zoom in. You see that? That looks familiar because that's where the one nun was standing as the celebration commenced. And it would probably been right here, because this would have been probably where the main entrance was. And as he was leaving, he would have went down, they would have went down that way, which now it's concrete parking lot and not exactly the same as it was. But this is the building, this is it. You had the windows open, balloons flying out, everybody ecstatic that he was leaving. You can tell it's an old building. Pretty much it ain't the same as far as the parking lot area, but the building is exactly the same. Nothing's changed. That cross is very, very distinct when it comes to that scene. 801 Shaw Street. There it is. This is the orphanage. All right, so now if you look, take your way down the street, this is one of the scenes I really love. So if you come over here, I'm gonna show you the Healy house, and this is probably the most famous house. This is the house where everything happened. But my main thing is the scene where Junior first meets Grandpa, Big Ben. And if you look, ambulance comes flying down the street because he pretty much puts him through there. You see the gurney coming down the top of down the stairs. And there's a lot of scenes that happen right there on the thing. The porch. But the ambulance pretty much stops right there. And the whole scene unfolds right there. But yeah, I always wanted to see this when I was younger. I always wanted to come down to this place and see this, like I said, just based on the nostalgia effect. But anyway, there it is, guys. The Healy house, Problem Child. All right, buddy, so you remember I talked about in the intro to the video that not just the nostalgia factor of different things, but just as it pertains to Problem Child. So, like I said, scenes that were engraved in my head, scenes that I can vividly remember. If I have to go back and watch the movie, there's a lot of things I won't remember until I watch it. But like I said, those scenes that are engraved in my head. And this is one of them. So we know Junior, he's got the devil costume on, and he goes to a birthday party. Well, when he goes to that birthday party, I can vividly remember that whole scene. That was a great, great, great scene. But, so this is the house he went to. And as the scene starts and they roll, you see people walking across the street. And as they're walking, you pretty much get this shot. You can kind of see the curb and the grass in the shot. And I'm gonna get down and look. So you got the house as you come across, and they're pretty much walking that direction straight. But there it is. That's the house. Now I don't know, and I'm not gonna go because I'm not gonna get on people's property. Don't know if everything was shot in the backyard as far as the party sequence. Don't know if the interior was used, but this is the exterior. It's the Henderson house. Again, this is where Junior wreaked havoc. Obviously, that's a theme in this movie, but there it is. So this location, I think we all know it. So this is where the baseball game happened. Now, if you go right here, there's quite a few. There's actually a scene where I think it's a crane. It's coming down from the sky. Big Ben's out there on the mound. He's running for mayor, so he's kind of doing some campaigning. And this is where it all happened. Now, if you look back at the scene, you can actually see that there is the lights in the background. You can see those lights. I'm actually going to go this way a little bit. I'm going to kind of go out here and see if we can get on the field, show you a few things. Because I think what's quite awesome is I'm a big John Ritter fan. I think John Ritter's an awesome actor. And I think that the work he's done is great. I think he was the perfect part for this movie. Absolutely perfect to play Junior's adopted father. And it was awesome. So, real quick, here we go. So if you go look, Big Ben out here on the mound, it was actually out there, that direction where the scoreboard was, that he has this huge freaking poster, of himself, like a giant statue dedicated to him. Definitely seemed like a self-centered guy. So if you go over here,
Now somebody's gonna have to pinch it for
this is the dugout.
Okay, buddy, this is
No, this is where Junior was actually sitting at the end of the dugout before he gets caught up the pinch hit.
You, Junior. Come on, I need you to bat.
And it's crazy. Right here. John Ritter was standing right here. Right here. You also have another scene where you see him stand right there. You can see the snack bar in the background. Awesome scene. It's awesome that I'm standing here. And that's the thing I like. You know, the American Dream channel, that's what I want to do. Obviously, I want to be able to enjoy making videos and content for you guys out there. And I want you to be able to see it. And like I said, I want it to motivate you. If not motivate you, at least make you happy that you get to see something that you might not otherwise see. So obviously right here, home plate. Home plate. Junior taps the ball. Obviously goes back to the pitcher. He takes off with bat in hand. I love this scene. I absolutely love it. He makes his way from first. Takes care of business with the bat. Same thing at second. Third, by the time he gets to third base, everybody's taking off. They're running for their lives. He's still got the bat in his hand. They're running. He makes his way home. The catcher's there waiting. He's ready to get him out. At this point, I think it didn't matter. I think there were so many infractions that happened that he was out anyway. But they still play as if he's not. He slides into home. Kick to the area men don't want to get kicked in. And down he goes. And Junior jumps up and down, screaming touchdown, touchdown. But then over in this part of the cage, everybody's jumping up, climbing, trying to protect themselves, running for their life. But anyway, this is it. I just can't get over this part right here. This one right here. John Ritter, standing right here. Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys, let's move on to the next location. All right, so our next scene is going to bring us to a spot. A lot has changed, but after Junior steals Ben's car and they go for a little ride, starting out with Ben on the hood, eventually with him on the roof of the car, they end up right here. Now, looks a lot different, but if you look where it says Lake Point Church, that's where it used to say Sports Town. Okay, and you got the 4 lights on the pillars. Obviously, this one right there to the far left, that is where Junior crashed through with the car and went into the store. So obviously, like I said, it looks a lot different. And it's just amazing, I think, when you go back and look at old locations, whether it's still standing or not. But in this point, if it's still standing and it's something completely different, it's kind of crazy, but you can picture it. Look back at the Sportstown store and you can see it. This would have been the parking lot he was driving through. As he comes through, driving down, and then boom, straight through the window. Anyway, all right, guys, we're going to go on to our next location, but Lake Point Church. Once upon a time, Sportstown, movie Problem Child. So, as the chase scene goes, we reach that point where before they actually get to the part where they're chasing each other down the road and the scene where they end up climaxing into the part, we actually kind of start right here. This is kind of where it all begins as far as Ben chasing the bow tie killer. This is the circus scene. This is where it starts. You'll notice that big Midway sign, you know, as they enter. I vividly remember the clown breathing the fire and the whole chase through this. So obviously this out here on the Midway somewhere is where all the scenes were filmed. But this is where they came through and got all the action going. So I'll say real quick when it comes to this scene and them going through here. It's actually a carnival Midway. They call it a circus in the movie. But this is where you really get to see John Ritter's character kind of come into his own as more of a fatherly figure, what you would do in a situation if you were a father. Because granted, Problem Child was not an Oscar-nominated movie. It wasn't an Oscar-winning movie. It wasn't none of that. But if you got good acting in movies and you're paying attention, you can feel it as it progresses throughout the movie. And as it pertains to John Ritter's character, Ben, you know, he obviously plays the good dad. He's more sympathetic to Junior, even though everybody else can't stand him. Says get rid of him. He's the spawn of Satan. He tries to be patient with him. Obviously, before this scene, there's the scene where Flo and Junior are gone. They're taken by the bow tie killer. Ben is ecstatic. He's like, it's done. It's over with. Thank God. But he comes to his senses. He knows he adopted Junior. He knows that he wants to take care of him and he wants to raise him right. So he comes to his senses, and that's when he goes out and looks for him. And then eventually climaxes to this scene and then the following scene. But the point is, you see the character progress from the patient dad trying to be good to a new adopted child to losing his freaking mind, going insane, to calming down and reaching that point to where he's like, this is my son. I'm a dad. I'm going to do what I got to do. And it's an awesome progression of character as far as John Ritter goes. But anyway, there it is. The entrance to start the scene. Midway Circus scene. Problem Child. All right, guys. Let's move on to the next spot. All right, everybody. This brings us to one of the last scenes of the movie. And it's kind of hard to get to. And honestly, I don't know if I should be over here. Because it's pretty much a fenced in. Looks like a truck area either for pickup or drop off commercial vehicles. But as we all know, climax of that view, you got the bow tie killer being chased by Ben, and obviously you got the bridge. This is where Flo goes flying over into the truck with the pigs. You got the staircase. We know that John Ritter stood right here with Michael Oliver's character, and this is where all the final scenes took place. This is also where, the bow tie killer, Michael Richard, tried to grab the officer's gun. He ends up shooting Ben. And another scene, if I had to sit there and say that is engraved in my brain, was the prune. Saved him from getting shot. Saved him from the bullet going through his skin. The prune. I'll always remember that. I thought it was so cool that a prune saved him. But you can see the design on the bridge. Matches up perfectly with the movie still. You see the staircase. It all matches up. This is where it happened. It's changed a lot. So much has changed. But it's always cool when you can go back and match stuff up. At least there's something left that you can match up. When there's absolutely nothing, then that's when it sucks. But anyway, yep. This is where that scene happened. This is where it ended. This is where the climax happened. The chase scene. Van Healy and the bow tie killer. They stood right here. All right, this one right here. I'm going to show you something. This was one of my favorite scenes because we got Michael Richards' character, bow tie killer, pulling into a gas station at one point. And the reason I'm doing this right now, and this is actually going to be the last scene before we call it a day, I want you to look right here. Now this is probably one of the ones that's changed the most. And then you got, if you look over there, I'm going to point to it. Let's see if I can point to it right there. Kind of where that car was turning. Sorry to put my finger in the way. Right over there is the tax office here in Mesquite, Texas. That is one of the most, obvious things you can see in the scene that's still there from then. But most of it's changed completely. Because as he pulls in, he'd have pulled in from right here. Right here, he'd have pulled in, pulled up to the gas pump. That's how it looks today. So the gas pumps would have been somewhere right here. The store would have been right there, where this office building now is. So again, that's absolutely crazy. You think about the Sportstown store that we looked at, it's still standing, the building's still there, but it's now a church. But this one right here, I think, is the most interesting. A lot of stuff has changed. Well, it was all concrete once upon a time, pulling into a driveway, up to a gas pump, and a small convenience store. You can see what it is now. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. All right, everybody, that's where we're going to end it for today. Those are scenes from Problem Child. I just wanted to say one thing. As we end it right here, I did want to shoot one more scene. If you remember the scene where The bow tie killer, Michael Kramer's character. Michael Kramer. Michael Richards, who plays Kramer. His character actually takes Flo, puts her in the back of a trunk, which once that scene starts, it leads to a bunch of other scenes. She's pretty much in the trunk for a good portion of the movie after that happens. So that happened in the Deep Ellum district of downtown Dallas. And as I was trying to do the scene, man, there was so much stuff going on downtown. I couldn't, there was no parking. I couldn't get around. It was hard to match up the shot. So I apologize. I will get that shot. At some point, I'll get that shot. And we might just do a follow-up video on this just to get it up there because I really wanted to get, that was one of the ones I really wanted to get. Second, I think it's kind of cool, you know, to go somewhere. Let me restart that. You never know where you're standing. You never know where you're at. Things change so much over the years. You know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, things can change so much that you might go into a place, whether it's a shopping center, a gas station, you know, and to you, that may be all you know it is. But you don't know what it was before that. You don't know what it might be in another 50 years. So this has been awesome. This has been something I always wanted to do. Someplace I wanted to go, things I wanted to visit, because as a child, absolutely loved that movie. Absolutely loved it. And again, it was fun. I'm glad you were able to go with me on this journey. Sorry, guys. It's a lot of traffic coming from different directions, so I'm trying to make sure I'm not too close to anything that I can get hit by a car. But I'm glad you're able to come with me on this. And this was fun. Problem Child filming locations. You know, obviously we didn't get to see everything. I don't think I've seen a film location video where they shot every scene. You just pick out some of the big parts, some of the main storyline plot areas, and you go there. And I think we did that today. I think we hit those spots. Obviously, I missed the trunk scene, but hey, we got some of the other ones. But anyway, AmeriKan Dreem channel, guys. Like and subscribe. Thanks for coming with me. And remember, if there's something you want to do, go out there and do it. Remember, dream big.